It is safe to say that neither Manchester United nor Marcel Sabitzer had exactly planned for his transfer on deadline day. United were forced to act swiftly following an injury setback to Christian Eriksen, while Sabitzer would always be reluctant to admit that his dream transfer to Bayern Munich hadn't quite worked out. Yet, it could work out to be the perfect marriage as United look to finish the work they have started this season, and their new midfield recruit looks to remind everyone why he is one of the best in his position. The 28-year-old burst onto the scene at former club RB Leipzig, and was at his best when he helped dump United out of the Champions League 4 years ago, being named in the team of the tournament as well as the Bundesliga team of the season as his side reached an historic semi-final and secured a third-place finish in the German top flight. After such an incredible time, it was only natural that suitors would come. He would leave Leipzig after 7 years to join his boyhood club Bayern Munich in 2021, but a year and a half later, he has struggled to make the same impact he did previously. Sabitzer is perhaps the perfect example of a player who goes from being the key player at a top club to struggling to cope with being just another squad member at an elite one. But he is a player who knows reward doesn't come without hard work, a mantra that has been instilled in him from a young age and is at the heart of his family roots. His father, Gerrard, is a former Austria international and was Marcel's youth coach for much of his childhood. He knew a strict approach was needed to make sure his son didn't get complacent. He knew the deal and what was needed, and there were times when he made that very clear, Sabitzer says of his upbringing. It was a hard school, but looking back he did everything right. As a youngster, I was already very focused on football. Plus I didn't know any different, that's how it is for a boy whose father was a pro himself. Obviously some people said I was only playing because my dad is the coach, and stuff like that. But eventually people saw that I wasn't that bad. I was always able to deal with it well. Sabitzer grew strong from the disciplined approach, but was also aided by the expert insight of having a father who has lived his dream as an international footballer. From a young age, he would accompany his father to training sessions at SV Mattersburg and experience firsthand what it took to make it as a professional. His love for Bayern came from watching lots of their games on television with his father, where he idolized Brazilian duo Giovanni Elber and Zé Roberto, though in later years it was Steven Gerrard's style of play that influenced his own approach to the game. He was a more defensive player than me, but his mentality was fascinating to me. He always led the line and carried his team. I looked at that and took it all in. I wanted to play the same way. Watching those greats taught the youngster not only how to better his game as a midfielder, but also how to mature as an individual. I had to learn to accept others' advice, even when I didn't like it, he explained. There was a while there when I was 16, 17 where I thought that I'd already done it all and was getting it all right. And I hadn't achieved anything at that point. You only get better by taking constructive criticism on board. Sabitzer was made the captain at Leipzig, but he prefers to lead by example rather than by telling others what to do. It seems like he could be the perfect fit for a United side that already has so many model professionals quietly going about their work. Sometimes even after matches we've won, I sit at home unhappy and think, it could have been better. That's the way I've always been, he admits. I'm not constantly barking out orders. I often stay quiet, sit back and observe a lot. But I step in if someone needs a push or has to be told to calm down. I can tell anyone in the team the truth to their face, and would want it to be the same the other way round. Honesty is the absolute priority for me. What was crucial for Ten Hag was that he brought in another midfielder with the right personality and mindset to contribute to United's success in the second half of the season. United are in a good position to secure Champions League qualification and win a domestic cup in the months ahead, and Sabitzer is another born winner aligned with the visions of the club. He wasn't the biggest or toughest physically, but he had great technique, already had a great shot on him and always went out there with total self-confidence and commitment, said Reinhard Holschuster, one of Sabitzer's Grazer AK youth coaches. There was just one thing Sabi wasn't any good at back then, and that was losing. Even losing in practice was almost physically painful for him. That is something that former United interim manager Ralf Rangnick can vouch for. He is a huge admirer of his compatriot, particularly his fierce competitive streak. He has never liked to lose, which I absolutely believe is a positive thing. But he used to get a little too fired up, Rangnick said 3 years ago. He has clearly changed for the better and has become a leader. The way he has developed his personality is remarkable. I've only rarely experienced something similar. It's a personality trait that the player won't shy away from himself, though he insists that his aggression on the pitch is nothing more than his sheer desire to win. I never wanted to do anyone any harm, I just wanted to win games, countered Sabitzer. Maybe I broke something at times, and maybe I was a little louder and more aggressive. But it was nothing personal. It was all a result of being committed to the cause and having a will to win. Another difficulty for Sabitzer has been specializing in just one position when he is so versatile. The Austrian says he is at his strongest in the left attacking midfield role, but he has also operated as a deeper lying midfielder, winger, second striker and fullback. He has enjoyed playing in the deeper role as a 6 in front of the back line, benefiting from more time on the ball, though it limited his urge to create something offensively. His level is constant with periods of brilliance, former Leipzig and Bayern boss Julian Nagelsmann said of him. He is of fundamental importance because he always performs well and is utterly solid. What is clear is that United have signed a top player with a brilliant personality and a strong will to win, but he is a player who has been at his best as the main event rather than a support act. Ten Hag faces a tricky test to try and get Sabitzer to play with the same freedom he had at Leipzig, though the very nature of his loan move, and the lack of long-term expectations could well prove to be a match made in heaven. When I eventually stop playing football, I want to be able to look back on an utterly brilliant career with great clubs and huge success to my name. Whether I achieve that or not is partly up to me, and partly isn't. So I'll focus on the thing I can affect, my performance. Sabitzer has found himself at another great club, and now it is up to him to do his part of the deal.